What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. We got UFC Fight Night. Song versus Simone or Simon. Prediction breakdown here, guys. 11 fights, UFC Apex. Before I get started, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the thumbs up button. Also check out my Patreon account, guys, for all the face-off prediction and prop plays. And also you can donate to this channel to my PayPal account to help out the channel a little bit more so I can make these videos more full-time, right? A little donation there is always helpful. $1 here, $2 there, 50 cents. All right, guys. So let's jump in this real quick. This is this card here is kind of a tricky one, man. You know, like the last couple cards we had, but we're not looking into the past too much. We're just running forward. Keep going forward, man. Keep going forward. Don't stop. Keep moving. Don't stop. Whatever you do, don't stop. Just keep moving. All you gotta do is just keep moving. All right. This is a tricky one though, man, and a lot of short notice, a lot of unknowns. That's the issue here. We're having a lot of unknown fighters here, man. Even though I break it down and I watch fights and I watch some some of the interviews and Instagrams and see all the training, it's still just the guys are kind of unknown, a couple of them, and a lot of them are still slightly kind of green. I mean, it's not a disrespect when I say that. It's just that there's just not enough fights for them, and they could drop the ball at any time. So let's knock this out real quick. First fighter, we got Hailey Cowan versus Jamey-Lyn Horth. This one here, guys, man, honestly, you could fade it. You could take a chance. Nothing guaranteed. Hailey here is she's physically strong woman. She like to put you against the cage and kind of hold you there. Kind of that Holly Holm kind of vibe. She can get taken down though, and she can get submitted. I believe her 2 losses are by submission, right? She's also a gymnast, so she's coming from being a gymnastic practitioner, right? So that's basically it, man. I think she's not that experienced, Her opponent here, Horth, difficult to find fights in this woman. Whatever I see, just clips, little pieces on our social media. But it's difficult. But what I've seen though, she looks pretty legit. She looks more of an experienced person here, more of the experienced fighter here, right? Striking, okay, seems to have more of a better ground game there, which is submitted a black belt here in Myra, which is a black belt, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and she submitted her. But in this fight here with Myra, she actually blew out her knee. She got caught in a knee bar and she ain't tapped. So her knee got messed up in that fight. That was from 2021. So she hasn't fought since 2021. So that's the problem with this fight here. I'm not sure how Horth is going to look. Even though her knee got messed up though, she still pulled off a submission. So she got the knee bar on her first, and she messed up her knee, and then she kept on fighting and pulled off the rear naked choke. So from what I've seen, her mental state is tough. She has the skills. She submitted a BJJ black belt, which is it's not easy. If you're a BJJ black belt or any kind of black belt, it should be good, right? Even though it's dependent on the person, but if depending on who give you a black belt, it depends on the person. But like I said, she's coming off a knee injury. She didn't do any surgery, which is always the best way to go. Try to rehab it naturally is the best way. Doing surgery and stuff is never go under the knife. Unless it's your last resort. We're trying to do things naturally. All right. But from what I see, man, she has, in my opinion, better skills than Hailey, and she has a ground game and she's durable. But again, I don't know what she looks like. I don't know what she looks like. I'm not sure, how better the knee is, kind of a question mark. But I'm gonna go with Horth though, because the fact that she submitted a BJJ black belt, and from what I've seen, her skills is just a little better than Haley. So I'm gonna go with Horth here, Jamey-Lyn Horth. I'm gonna say Jamey-Lyn Horth by submission in the first round. 50-50 fight, guys. Question mark. Be careful. Fade if you want. That's basically it. So Horth submission first round. Not confident. Next fight here, guys. We got Julian Newson versus Marcus McGee. Short notice for McGee here, man. It was supposed to be Brian Kelleher. Julian Newson here, well, he would have had the speed advantage against Kelleher, but when I look at McGee, he doesn't look bad, and he has speed, and he pack power on the punches, man. Newson here, he can get wild with his strikes, but from what I'm seeing from his recent fights, he's behind his toe, moving in and out, popping his shots. His fight against Sergey here, he put up a mean fight, a good fight, but the takedowns from Sergey were just so elusive, and it was difficult for him to deal with that, man. He was getting taken down consistently, and that's how we lost a fight. But he was hanging in there, was moving in and out, popping his shots, and looking good on the foot. Even, on defending some of the takedowns and getting back up, he was actually doing that, but it's just the consistent takedowns. His opponent here, Marcos, like I said, Marcos 6 by KO TKO, never been to decision, is all finishes. This guy's 100% finish rate, coming out of the MMA lab, which is a good MMA school there. Short notice though, man. He will look for the rest. He will look for takedowns. Striking doesn't look bad, man. It looks technical in the foot. His hands is powerful. Got pop power. His movement don't look bad. His the way how he makes up his kicks with the punches, it doesn't look bad. But it's short notice though. This is a tough one because I actually could see Marcos winning this fight, especially by a knockout. Just to be honest with you, I can actually see that. But it's the experience. I feel Newson may have a little more experience here. He's been there. And if you look at Marcos, even though he's coming out of the MMA lab and fought good guys there, trained with good guys, I would say, we have no experience really, man. So I have to go with Newson here, but I can see Marcos pulling off a win here, man. It could be one of those, probably those counter hooks, it's possibility, right? So, but 50-50 question mark here, guys. I'm going to go with Julian Newson. I'm going to say Julian Newson by decision. I'm not confident, and like I said, I'm going to check the face-offs off. I'm going to check out the face-offs, and I'm going to see, how Marcos look. And may do a switch there on my face-off, depending, but I could see Marcos pulling off a window. But I'm going to go with Newson by decision. Not confident. Next fighter, we got Stephanie Edgar versus Arina Axiva. These are both judokas, sorry. These are both judokas, practitioners here. Both of them do judo. Stephanie Edgar here, like I said, judo base. I feel she's more experienced and she's more active. If you look at Arina here, Arina has judo also, but I feel with Edgar, she implemented a little better in the cage. Her sweeps, her takedowns are a little better. Even on the striking, I feel that Edgar's a little better at striking. If you look like the Russian Ronda Rousey, if you look at Arina here, her head is kind of high up. Has a judo base. Like I said, these both are judokas, right? They come in here with pretty much the same kind of skill set. We just look for the neck throw, trying to get the head locking and throw you over. Both of them love to be against the cage and just hold you there. This is going to be based off more experience and I guess the activity. If you look at Arina here, her activity is is not that great. A lot of 219s, no 220, 2021, and then she ain't fighting until now. So her last fight was 2021. And she fought a Stephanie Page and beat her. So she's getting two Stephanies back to back. Look at that. She's getting two Stephanies back to back, man. So will she beat this Stephanie? This fight is a question mark too, guys. Like I'm not confident in this one at all, man, because with Edgar, Stephanie Edgar would also drop the ball, man. I mean, she has experience. She should win, in my opinion, but you never know, man. Never know here. I'm gonna go with Stephanie Edgar here. I'm gonna say Stephanie Edgar by submission in the first round, but I'm not confident though, man. Like I said, this Arena girl has, you know, the judo also, and she will get you down to the ground too. But it's just her activity rate, and you just never know, man. So I'm gonna go with Edgar here. I'm gonna say Edgar by submission first round for more activity. You know, fighting more. You know, just being in the cage more longer and experience. Next fight here, guys. We have let's see. We have Cody Durden versus Charles Johnson. It's the next one here, man. Cody Durden, wrestling base. Will let his hands go. He's pretty well rounded guy. He got the grinding kind of base on him with the wrestling, would grind you against the cage and take you down. Let me see here. And he will look for submission, but he can also get submitted, man. So he's a guy that can get submitted, man, and that seems to be his weakness. But he will put the pressure on you, though. He will put that consistent pressure and keep coming forward. But he will gas out, though. And when the guy can strike, you know, if he's fighting a guy that can also strike, and, you know, he can defend takedowns, then it could be a problem for Cody. Because, tricky one here, guys. His opponent here, Johnson, is going to have the 3-inch of reach, which is massive. Johnson is pretty well-rounded guy, and you can see that even with Johnson, you can take him down, but he pops back up. He pops back up, and he fights long. His striking is not bad. Let me see here. And also with Johnson here, he has never been finished. You know, he's never been knocked out or submitted. And this is a guy that went toe-to-toe with he went toe-to-toe with Muhammad here, and put on a pretty good show there. I mean, he was getting taken down, but he hanged in there. You know, I believe Muhammad finished Cody, but again, you can't really look at the fights like that. Like, this guy finished this guy, so that means that, you know, this other guy's supposed to can beat him or whatever. But, you know, you gotta be careful when you're doing that, because it doesn't always work out like that. Meaning that Cody could come in here and just grind out Johnson for the win. Believe me, even though he lost, you know, to the guys that Charles beat. So be careful with that one, man. Don't fall for that. I was kind of back and forth with this one, man. I could see Cody grinding for a win here, especially for a three-round fight. But it's just striking from Charles. He fights long, you know. Yeah. He can keep him on the back foot there, you know, pop his shots there. He can defend takedowns. And like I said, he didn't look good. He looked good against Muhammad, even though he lost. You see Cody, you know, against Muhammad, he got submitted. But like I said, you don't want to look at the fights like that too much. But I'm gonna go with Charles Johnson there, and the reason why I'm going with Charles, because I feel like he's well-rounded enough to stop takedowns and get back to his foot, and then implement the striking. And Cody will strike, but Charles got the reach, and he's more elusive with it, and he's more unorthodox, and he can stop the takedowns. You know what I mean? So Cody gonna be struggling to just, you know, hustle, and he's gonna burn himself out. So I'm gonna go with Johnson here. I'm gonna say Johnson by decision, but I'm not confident, because I can see Cody coming in here and then pull off a 3-round decision. It's possible. So, yep. Next fighter, we got Martin Buday versus Jay Cutler. Buday here is a pretty durable guy, man. This guy's come forward, a lot of pressure, huge dude, but he's flat-footed though, heavy-handed, keep up aggressive pressure on you. Likes to put you against a cage, throw elbows and knees though. That's mostly his thing. Put you against a cage, elbows and knees, and maybe fire off 1 or 2 punches, kind of push off, and then just repeat the same thing over and over again. But like I said, he's a durable dude. A guy like Jake. Jake was a smaller weight guy here. I believe he's a fight at 170, 185 around there. We move up to heavyweight, so I feel Buddha gonna be the, you know, Buddha. I feel like Buddha is gonna be the bigger body here. I feel Buddha is gonna be the heavier hitter here too. But Cutler is experienced. Cutler is gonna have the speed advantage too, but he will gas out, especially if he can't finish you in the first round. So if he can't finish Buday in the first round, he's going to get put against the cage and get beat up, in my opinion. Again, Collar could come in here and then knock him out. It's a possibility. So these are both big guys, man. Even though I said Buday, frame-wise, he just looks more like a thicker guy. But that doesn't mean that Collar can come over and land overhand. You know, your head not meant to get hit, regardless if you're a heavyweight or not. You know what I'm saying? It's just all in technique and where you land. Your precision and striking. I'm going to go with Buday here. I'm going to say Buday by decision, but be careful with this one. Like I said, Collar is experienced. Been there for a while, man. Fought at different weight classes too. But mostly 185. I know I said 170, right? I think he fought at 170 one time, didn't he? 205, 185. Yeah, so mostly at 185, I would say. Yeah. But, yeah, man, I'm going to go with, he fought, Devin Clark. Hold on there. Okay, I am. Yeah, this guy been in the UFC for a minute, from 214, huh? Yeah, so I'm going to go with Buday, but be careful with this one, guys. I'm going to say Buday by decision. When you have big guys like this, anything is possible, man. Next fighter, we got Josh Quinlan versus Trey Walters. Trey Walters is short notice, supposed to be ankylosa. Josh Quinlan here, he's actually a well-rounded guy. Power, mad power, especially off his left. Very technical. He also admits to be juicing. I guess he was on the PEDs. So, I mean, he's a guy that I guess he was taking steroids at one time, right? I believe on the Contender Series, it was a no contest because I guess he was juicing then. I don't know. But, you know, he came back against Jason Witt, landed that hook that left hook. And, I mean, it's a very powerful guy, man. Even in his, watch his other fights, his takedowns, his submission. This guy's a pretty technical guy. Pretty durable dude, too. His opponent here, Trey Waters. Remember Trey Waters from off the Contender Series here? Gabriel Bonfim. He fights long, quick guy. The technique's kind of loopy with his shots. Kind of not orthodox striking, but he's going to have a 5-inch of reach and a 5-inch of height. Short notice for him, though. If Josh land to him, I could see Josh knocking him out, in my opinion. But again, Waters is lengthy, rangy guy, but the pace, I don't know, man, because Josh will push a high pace. But again, Trey is long and loopy, man. So when guys are long and loopy like that, man, you know, you never know. He can land that one shot, like what he did against Jordan Fuller in his last fight here. Just land that one counter strike, and then it's lights out. Josh been knocked out for the first time, so anything is possible, man. That's why I say this card here is very unpredictable, man. It's tough. It's tough because the guys are, you know, they're kind of coming up. You know, it's hard to put a read on them. You know what I'm saying? Especially a guy like Trey, short notice, 5-inch of reach, 5-inch of height, and fights long range and loopy. I'm gonna go with Josh, guys, but be careful with this one, man. I'm gonna say Josh by KO/TKO in the first round, but I'm not confident, man. All these fights, I'm not confident in, to be honest. It's just very unpredictable fights. Next fighter, we got Waldo Acosta. Is it Salsa? What his name is? Spicy Salsa or some shit? Marcos Vidoria Limo versus Marcos Limo. What's his name is? Salsa Boy. Spicy Salsa. Salsa Boy. All right. Remember Salsa Boy. Okay. Spicy Salsa. Acosta here is more of a boxing kind of base. This guy doesn't want to box, man. He doesn't check leg kicks. Can get taken down. But he will fight off the takedowns though. He will defend the best way he can. But you can't get him down though. And he doesn't check kicks, man. But he pack power though. And if he connect, he could knock you out. But boxing is his thing though. That's his base. So he's gonna come to box, right? Marcos Lima here can take you down. He can submit you. I feel like he's a more well-rounded guy, and he throws heavy leg kicks. He throws devastating leg kicks, and he's been an Ultimate Fighter, Brazil. He's a more well-rounded guy here, man. All right, but he's been sub 5 times, but he doesn't have to worry about that because Costa is not going to take him down. But the only thing about this fight is that, you know, we see with Lima sometimes he will get tired in the fight as the fight go on. So if he can't knock you out or finish you, he will get tired. So that's something to look at there. But Acosta is coming just to box. This guy's gonna kick. He's gonna look for takedown. He's gonna look to mix it up, man. So I mean, for me to pick Costa is like, and then also the experience from Costa. Like I said, it's an unpredictable guy, man. I'm gonna go with Lima here, and I'm gonna say Lima by KOTQ in the first round, guys. And it could be by leg kicks or just by a knockout punch. But I'm not confident here. So, like I said, Lima will slow down. If Lima can't finish him, then he could just lose by points, and then Acosta get decision, split decision. Believe me, it's very possible. But Lima by KOTQ first round, I'm not confident. Next fight here, guys. We have Julian Erosa versus Fernando Padilla. Is Padilla a short notice? No, he's not. It's the next tough one here, man, guys. And the reason for that, because Julian Erosa, experienced guy, actually a skilled guy, but when he fights guys who have unorthodox techniques like Alex Caceres, like they set them up off of something else, like a punch set up the kick, which is that head kick setup, off the punch. Sometimes Julian Erosa doesn't see that, and sometimes a lot of people don't see that because it's not a classical, like a basic technique that you're like a 1-2-3 1-2-3 kick. You know what I'm saying? It's like the punch is there, and then behind the punch the kick just follows up, but it's coming off a different kind of angle, or it's coming off the same side. So sometimes it's difficult for people to read that because it's not practiced. You don't train it. So, but Araujo, he's been knocked out like 6 times, man. So the last time he knocked out was 2022 against Alex Caceres in December. So I mean, the guy is skilled. Don't get me wrong. He beat some, Hakeem Dadu. He beat Nate Landwehr, Sean Woodson. These are guys that people thought was supposed to beat him, and then he beat them. He beat Charles Jourdain. But again, he doesn't handle a hit too well. So if he get touched, he could get knocked out. A guy like Fernando, though, who's making his debut here, from what I see from him, he's seen like more grappling based. He wants more to submit you from off his back. But again, he does throw wild punches and kicks, though. You know what I mean? So very aggressive, I should say. So, when a guy's aggressive like that, he got nothing to lose making his debut. Of course, going there nuts and crazy, anything can happen, man. But I'm going to go with Erosa, though, man. I must say Julian Erosa by decision. But it's a 50-50, and I'm not confident. Because, like I said, with Fernando, man, he could just throw up something and it catches Erosa. You know what I'm saying? And Julian Erosa get knocked out. It's possible. When you get knocked out like that consistently, eventually after a while, man, you're not able to handle anything. You can't really take a touch. Even though it doesn't take much to knock somebody out, but some people can take more than others. Julian Erosa can't really handle it that well. So, yeah, so I'm going to go with Julian Erosa by decision, but not confident. Next fighter, guys, we got Cody Brundage versus Rodolfo Vieira. Cody Brundage versus Rodolfo Vieira. I know I mispronounced that. Brundage here, wrestling base. He basically will look to grind, take you down, grind, may throw some punches here and there, but nothing spectacular. He just looks to put against the cage, take you down, kind of beat you up on the ground. I believe he will look for submissions too. A guy like Rivera, though, Rivera is pretty good on the ground, man. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, even though he's been submitted by Anthony Hernandez in that fight, which was crazy. People thought that that he would submit Anthony Hernandez, but then Hernandez submitted him, which was it's like, oh shoot, a black belt. Again, this guy is known. Vera is like a champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. A world champion guy. And you see here in the grappling matches, he's like a world champion dude. Like he pulls off a lot of wins from way back in 2007. So this guy like a veteran in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world, right? This fight is going to be on the ground, man, most likely. So the thing is that Vera could gas out if the fight goes longer. But I would say Vera here, man. I'm going to say Vera by submission in the first round. Because with Brundage, he he could stay on the outside, but most likely this fight going to end up on the ground, man. So I'm going to go with Vera here. I'm going to say Vera by submission in the first round. I'm not confident, man, because like I said, with Vera here, he can get submitted and he will break under pressure. And most of the time, the reason why he got submitted by Hernandez, because Hernandez put that heavy pace on him. Put a heavy pace on him and just never quit. And what happened with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, after a while, once it started getting tired, it's like a white belt. It's like everything goes out the door. That goes for anybody, man. And still, you know, if you're skilled at something, boxing, once you get tired, the hands start to drop. Your chin is there, you get hit, get knocked out by somebody who is probably not even a better striker. You're just at your gas tank. You know, when you have no cardio, all that technique don't matter no more. That's why endurance is massive. To have endurance is actually one of the most important things, man. You can carry the fight if you need to. Not just going in there and submitting somebody real quick and knocking them out. Because then what happens if you have to go long range? If you go long distance. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with Vera, though. I'm going to say Vera by submission first round, guys. Not confident. Next fight here, guys. We got Caio Borralho versus Michael Ondrzejczyk. Caio has been looking good, man. He's a pretty well-rounded guy. Light in the foot. Has an orthodox stance there. Kind of an orthodox floating. Kind of have a like a karate kind of base, like a Machida, Stephen Thompson kind of style. Kind of on his toes, bouncing in and out. Kind of like my style. We'll also look for the ground. His takedowns, his submission game is not bad too. He's a very well-rounded guy. So if you know that he can't strike with you and you're a power hitter like Michael or Mikkel, he's going to be a power hitter. So he's going to look to take this guy down. Michael is well-rounded too, but is more striking. You want to be standing up more. Pack power and he will knock you out. But he can get taken down and he can get submitted. Right? The last fight here against Cody Brundage got him down, but he couldn't keep him down though. I feel Caio would be able to keep him down there. Right? And I feel Caio also has a striking too. You see, with Cody, he doesn't really have a striking like that, but Caio has both of it. He can strike if he wants to, and he can go for takedown and submission. But with Michael, though, you gotta be careful with Michael, because Michael's a heavy hitter, man. So he's gonna want to take this fight to the ground. And this could be one of those fights where it's just a decision fight, because, you know, if you look at how Caio, you know, he will push for the submissions if it's there. You know what I'm saying? But if he just to keep on going and beat you up, then that's what he's going to do. So I'm going to go with Caio here. I'm going to say Caio by decision, guys. And I'm not confident because, like I said, Michael is experienced guy, man. You know, as I said, you don't take away from the experienced guys, you know. So Michael come in here and hit him with an overhand, and then he gets hurt, like what I did with Cody, then it's over. Or, you know, he get on top of Caio and start landing down punches. And he's heavy when he's on top. You know what I'm saying? And the guard is heavy. And it's, you know what I'm saying? So now that's what happened to Cody. He had him in top, bam, 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 the punches are heavy. So, but I'm going to say Caio by decision though. I'm not confident. Next fight here, guys. We have Young Dong Song versus Ricky Simón. Song, an orthodox striker, kind of like a kung fu karate base on him there, in and out, light in the foot. Can get taken down, but at Team Alpha Male has been working on that, and you can see his takedown defense was pretty good when he fought Cody Sandhagen, which that fight was stopped because of nasty cut. This fight here, though, man, Team Alpha Male, Uriah Faber, Uriah Faber beat Ricky Simón. I believe Uriah Faber actually knocked him out with an overhand. Song is a tough dude, man. He's durable. He's tough. He's gonna keep coming, man. There's a thing about this fight. It's a 5-round fight too. He's gonna keep coming, man. Simón here, though, man, strong wrestling base, very strong wrestling base. Has the striking and he's well rounded. A very experienced guy. I feel like he's more experienced than Song is, but it's the power from Song. Song pack power, man, and the toughness. But then the Simón got the wrestling. You know, you can look for takedowns, smaller cage. You can look for takedowns. You can grind in this fight, but then it's the punching power. And we see Simón got knocked out by Faber. So Faber working with Song, you know, could help him out with that. You know, like, hey man, do this, do that. But we see Simón fought Mental Jackson. And with Montel Jackson, you know, he looked pretty good. He used his wrestling a lot in that fight. He also fought a guy in Marab, which Marab is like freaking 10-fight winning streak or something like that. He lost a grappling match. Oh wow! I would never think that guy would lose a grappling match. I guess in MMA, I guess it's different, you know, when you find these guys here. I guess a grappler guy, this Kevin guy here. I don't know. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man. So he's been in a 6, 7, 8 fight winning streak there. Yeah, man. So tough one. But I'm gonna go with Simón here, guys. I'm gonna say Simón by decision. I just feel Simón can mix it up a little bit more and move up and down and kind of change levels. And you just have to be careful of the power of Song. If Song connects, Song could knock him out, man. So it's still a risky one. It's a 50-50, and I'm not confident. Quick look at the odds here, guys. See what we're working with. Crazy odds. There should be a lot of even fights. I mean, the odds should be even, man. There shouldn't be any high odds here, man. I just can't see it. Doesn't make any sense. Haley Cohen, Horth, I have her as favorites. I think she's too high. Even fight to me, man. 165, I think she's kind of high, to be honest, man. Because her knee injury, you just don't know. So be careful with this one, guys. Jordan Newson, Marcus McGee, same thing here, man. But I see from McGee, he doesn't look bad. And Newson can get hurt in the foot, man. So next one here, you got to be careful with. I'll be more careful with the Jordan Newson on the Marcus fight. I feel Horth should win. I'll be more careful with Newson and the Marcus McGee. Irina and Stephanie Edgar, oh hell no. That's way too high. That's ridiculous. 350? This fight, guys, is an even fight. Be careful with it. You can also fade it, or you can go under. I feel Edgar supposed to can win it, but when we say with women fights, you just never know, man. Be careful. Next fight, Charles Johnson and Cody Johnson and Cody Durden. Even fight, man. Even though it's close, you know, Charles 140, but Cody can grind. It's not a 3-round fight. He just need to take him down a couple times, and he can pull off the fight. He can pull off each round by just 1 or 2 takedowns. But if it goes to judges, though, and Johnson is hitting him up, then Johnson could get a split decision. So it's a tough one to call. Be careful with this one. Jay Collar and Buday, even fight, which is pretty much kind of even, yeah. So heads or tails, man. I feel Buday should win, though, but be careful. It's a scrap fight, scrap. Josh Quinlan, Waters. Got Quinlan at 175. Still be careful, guys, because Waters here fight long, got the reach and height. Just never know, man. Even though Quinlan looks good and is a good prospect, but still, it takes one shot, man. So I like Quinlan, but I feel it's a little bit too high, and be careful. Marcus Ruggiero and Waldo Acosta. Ruggiero is 185. I mean, man, I feel this fight should be a little closer for the fact that Ruggiero does gas out. But again, Acosta just come to box, and Ruggiero has more tools in the toolbox, so he should win, right? He should win, but still be careful. Fernando and Julian Erosa, 150. Man, this fight should be an even fight for the fact that Erosa got knocked out like that in his last fight. And a guy like Fernando is going to come in here and grind, and he's going to throw all kind of crazy kicks and punches. Wild. He's wild. The guy's an aggressive, wild guy. That doesn't mean that he's going to win the fight. Erosa more experienced, more technical, and more precise. But experience. So Erosa should win, but still be careful. Cody Brodage and Rodolfo Vieira. I feel Rivera is too high, man. There's a simple fact that Cody can strike too. Cody got a little striking. Not the best, but he can throw his hands. You know what I mean? So it should be a little more even, not like close to even, with Vera probably winning it. But I feel Vera should win, but it shouldn't be so high. Caio Borralho and Michael. Damn, Caio is high, man. Nah, man, because Michael is not a bad fighter, guys. The guy is not a bad fighter. He's an experienced guy, and he's not a bad fighter. Caio shouldn't be so high. Shouldn't be so high, man. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. This fight, in a kind of actuality, should be kind of even. Maybe Caio's slight favorite, but it should be close to even, man. Because Michael is not a bad fighter. That doesn't mean that Caio, can't beat him. I feel Caio has the skills and the techniques and the grappling and everything to beat him, but the guy is still experienced. Be careful. Ricky Simón and Song Yong Dong, yeah, I said that right. Even fight, in my opinion, which is pretty much, yeah. I feel like Young, Song could catch him with a punch and hurt him, as well as Simón could grapple him out. If Simón doesn't do what the guy name, what Blaydes did, and just look to strike. Blaydes going to wrestler, but he wants to go strike with a guy who is pretty technical with striking. He doesn't go for takedowns until he gets tired. If Simón, in my opinion, is not a bad striker either, but you should look to touch, and start pressuring with takedowns. You shouldn't stand in front of Song Dong and strike like that. Because the guy is very technical and heavy striking. And we saw what happened when he fought Uriah Faber like that. Exactly. So even fights, I don't disagree. That's it right there, guys. Tricky card. Be very careful with this one, man, because a lot of close matches we just see with the odds, and I can see this card going upside down, man. It's possibility. It's possibility, man. There's nothing guaranteed here, man. So play at your own risk here, alright? So you guys have a good day. Enough respect out to everybody that's been donating. All my subscribers that's thumbs up in and sharing the videos and donating to PayPal and checking the Patreon. Enough respect out to everybody for that. You guys keep on kicking. One love and os.